Hey, welcome to Answer Key video number 2. We're now on the plane from Denver to San Francisco, on our way eventually to Osaka, Japan. And hey, look, there's a couple students there. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. And this is going to be outcome R2, so here we go. Alright, so the first question from R2 is to circle one of these possible answers. By the way, the answer is this one. And I'll explain why by answering the next question. Explain in your own words why you selected a graph in question 6. Well, I go back to the definition of a function. For any function, okay, that is where for all uh, elements in the domain, these are the x values, there is only one value in the range. Okay, now this is the definition of a function. It's not an explanation of question 7, but it actually helps to think about it this way. For example, in this graph here in the bottom right, for this value of x, I actually have two values of y given by these 2 points. Okay, so for that value of x, I have 2 elements in the range, not only one, and so that's why this one fails to be a function. But there's a nicer way to do this here, and this is the best part of the explain. What would I say to explain this? I would use the words vertical line test. And the way the vertical line test goes is that if I can draw a vertical line and I hit more than one point, well, that means I failed to fulfill the definition of a function. And in fact, this example here on the bottom left fails the vertical line test. Okay, similarly up here, this fails the vertical line test. But if you were to draw a vertical line anywhere on this first graph in the top right, okay, this graph right here, all your vertical lines will work out. Okay, so you'd have to, in your explanation, explain that you use the vertical line test and somehow relate it to the definition of a function. And there are a variety of ways of doing that, and so I invite you to bring by new versions of your explanation for us to take a look at. Next question here. Does the following set of ordered pairs represent a function? Why or why not? Well, we still have the definition up above, and that says for all elements in the domain, there is only one value in the range. This is going to fail to be a function because of these 2 points I'm circling. For 1 in the domain, there are 2 values in the range. Okay, this is why, this is so shocking, I put 3 exclamation points. This is why it's not a function. Okay, so not a function. Because what we would need for it to be a function would be for every value in the domain, there would only be one value in the range. But this is where it fails to be a function. By the way, no other point there causes a failure. Okay, so for question 9, this is a very interesting one. 2 elements are in the domain, 4 elements in the range. Can this relation be a function? And justify your answer. Well, draw a picture. Here are the 2 elements in the range. We'll call them 1 and 2 because I'm not very creative. That's the domain. Here's the range. I'll put a star. Let's say a fish. And trying to put an eye on that fish. There we go. Let's see, a house. That's the worst looking house. And I'll just put a 0 because I'm out of ideas already. Maybe it's smiley face, actually. Okay, so if I wanted to create a function here, For every element in this domain on the left, it would only connect to a single element on the right. So let's connect this one down here and this one up there, and okay. Well, how am I going to connect to these other two that are left over? How could I do it? The only way is that one of these two must connect more than once. But if an element in the domain results in an element, more than one element in the range, then this is not a function. So this is not a function, okay? And I would suggest you use the definition in order to write an answer, okay? Write an answer and show it to us if you didn't get this one. And let's see what you come up with. Okay, last question. Again, I'm going to use the vertical line test. This one fails the vertical line test because, well, there's a vertical line right there, so this is not working. This fails the vertical line test. Hits more than once, twice, that fails. This one fails the vertical line test. There's 1, 2. And so I'm left with this one by process of elimination, but it also passes the vertical line test since no matter where I draw a vertical line, it only hits at most one time. Thanks very much. Please see the next video for R4.